Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang. Oh, you pretty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, we love you. And in chitty chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, what we'll do near, far, in a motor car, oh, what a happy time we'll spend. Bang bang, chitty.
Once again, I'm Rick Blair, and I'm one of the founders, and I'm excited you're here to do this interview. And it's something we just created called the Spotlight on the Director, and I wanted to invite you in. It's your first opportunity to be at Artisan.
Yes.
And Deanne dreamed of getting you. We honestly did not think you would be available, so I don't know what happened, but it was just serendipity, and we're excited you came on. I think an auditioner would be very excited to hear about your background. So could you share with us where you came from and how you got into theater, and maybe a little bit about your career?
Sure, absolutely. I grew up in Wichita Falls and went to school there. I started off in music actually at a really early age. It was in orchestra and then band and then choir, and then finally got into theater and musical theater my freshman year and did a show, and it completely changed my life and really set me on a different track for my life. I had planned on being a band director and decided to be a theater teacher instead. And so
Do you play instruments?
Well, a little bit. I don't know if you want to hear me play anymore, but I play piano and now, but not great. So ended up going to Midwestern State and was in the music department and the theater department, and ended up graduating with a theater degree in speech communication and teaching certification. Ended up going into ministry instead of education. Was in youth ministry and music ministry, but kept doing the arts on the side. I moved to Dallas after that and was a part of the Dallas Metropolitan Ballet for 18 seasons, did opera, did musical theater, worked at Six Flags. So did a lot of performing, and even incorporated that into the youth ministry when I was doing that, music ministry for holidays and things like that. And then about 6 or 7 years ago, I went back to school and got my master's in Christian education and graduated with that and went kind of back into public education. And 3 years ago, started teaching at WAFA as a musical theater teacher and direct the musicals there.
Interesting. What about your theater experience do you think will help you with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and your choreography experience?
Gotcha. Well, I've been performing probably for over 30 years, and then just watching directors and choreographers. And when I went equity, I was able to work with directors and choreographers from New York, and was on stage with people from New York and Broadway stars. So that's really helped me to become a more, polished and refined director and performer, is working alongside those people and being in those type of productions. As far as the choreography with Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, can't even talk, edit that out. As far as choreography for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, I think it's going to be really fun and quirky and not your typical, dream ballet or Fosse jazz. I think it allows itself to some really interesting, creative choreography. So I'm excited about that. There's not really kind of a set, it's West Side Story, it has to look like this, or it's the Oklahoma Dream Ballet, or it's, Chicago Fosse, it's supposed to look like this. I think that there's a lot of freedom in that, and that's going to help with who we cast and their abilities, and just depending on what level we have, and also help with it. We're doing it in the round. There'll be a lot of creativity and be able to work with that and not let that be a hindrance, but a challenge, and how do we make this choreography work on all four sides, not just from a proscenium, which is typical.
Excellent. Who are you bringing in to help you with choreography?
I am excited to bring in Emily Anderson, who is a FWAFA graduate, and last year she choreographed Godspell, which ended up winning Best Musical for Buckley's, and she also got an award for her choreography for Buckley's.
Wonderful.
And so she's been through a year of school, and I'm just really excited that she's able to do that. She is a professional. She was like working with a professional when I was working with her last year. So she can work with all levels and abilities, and I'm just super excited that she's going to be on board with us.
Thank you. I am too. Can you tell me about the characters or the people you're wanting to audition to become those characters? And if I was a actor wanting to consider so many roles that are in the Metroplex that people can audition for immediately.
Right.
And what makes Chitty Chitty Bang Bang stand out as a role that I should audition for as an adult or a child or a youth?
Well, I think the show is a lot of fun. I think there's a lot of opportunities for creativity, for imagination. I mean, the whole show is about that. It's about these crazy, wacky inventions that come to life through happenstance, through magic, through Disney, through whatever. So I think that the characters align with that. You've got these evil villain type of Baron and Baroness, and you've got the child catcher, but then you've got these the crazy old grandpa, and then you've got the main character, Craticus, that is this imaginative, hopeful, believes that things will work out. It's kind of this, he's your hero of the show that's taking care of his kids, and so, but he's got this this crazy imagination and brain that comes up with all these ideas to kind of advance technology, if you will. I mean, it's this kind of before the Industrial Revolution, or I guess kind of in the midst of that, and he's this inventor that is doing all these wonderful things with machines and things. So I think that the characters align with that. It's not your typical boy meets girl and falls in love type of story. They're these really kind of zany, fun, out there type of characters. So especially for the adults. For the children, there's the two main kids that are throughout the whole show and play a really large part of the show. I mean, they're nonstop. So those kids have got to be pretty dynamic to be able to handle that. And then as far as ensemble kids, there's the kids that are taken by the child catcher in that scene. And for the ensemble is really a great part to be a part of, because they're in all the production numbers and they're doing all the singing and dancing and changing characters and changing costumes and locations. And so, for them, we're looking for older kids to teenagers to young adults that can sing and dance and act and become all those different characters throughout the show. So there's a lot for everyone, really. I mean, it really is a generational musical. It's not just specific for a certain genre or demographic. It's really, we're looking for people of all ages for this show.
Excellent. And you're also, the other element of this is going to be your music director, which, as you know, our resident music director is Richard Gloves.
Right.
Tell me about your background with the Gloves family.
Well, I just met Richard officially a couple weeks ago at Auditions for Six Flags. I'm directing out there as well. But I've known Richard for a while. I know who he is and have crossed paths with him. But I know his brother, Eugene, because he was the music director for every show I had done at Casa and Bass Hall. And so Eugene is very connected to the New York community and plays for everybody and comes back and forth to Dallas to do shows here and see shows here. So it's great that I'm going to be able to work with Richard now as well. So I'm excited about that.
Thank you for doing this interview. I hope we have a lot of people come audition for you, and I hope that they enjoy watching you. Can you remind me again, when are your auditions?
Auditions are May 2nd and 3rd, Monday and Tuesday, coming up in just a couple weeks, and all the audition details are on the website, so they can check that out.
And then there'll be callbacks after
on
that.
May 4th, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you again.
You bet.
Good to meet you.
You too.
Thank you.
Chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang, chitty bang bang, chitty chitty bang bang.